I now want to go to the bishop of the Diocese of Baker, Oregon. Earlier this month, he released a pastoral letter titled To Bless or Not to Bless on the Vatican declaration Fiducia Supplicans. To discuss the letter and why he's speaking out on this controversial directive, please welcome Bishop Liam Cary. Bishop, thanks for being here. In the letter to the diocese, you ask your priests to not give blessings to known cohabitating couples, be they same-sex or separate sex. Why not?
Well, I tried to trace in that letter. I wanted to make it brief. By the way, the letter was written to the people of my diocese. It's entirely written to them as their bishop, because I had all kinds of people ask me what I thought about this. There was a great deal of confusion, and so I gave it a good deal of thought. And I guess the way I did it is I was quite surprised to receive this letter, receive the news of Fiducia Supplicans in December. There was no advance notice of it, and it was quite a shock because blessings are just one part of this. A piece in the valley of the blessing territory in the church. It seems one area where that's a really beautiful, gentle, commonplace thing, and then to have it suddenly kind of have a rock thrown in the water. So I would have happily shared the thoughts that I've expressed in the letter I wrote, to bless or not to bless, had I been asked, as other bishops would, I'm sure, have done. But we were not asked. We were not consulted about it. Well, I don't know the reasons for that, but I do know that it seems objectively that it led to a great deal of confusion that was not desired by Cardinal Fernandez nor the Pope. So people ask me, what do I think? And I tried to take my bearings on this thing, and I looked around geographically, you might say, looking to Rome from Oregon. And as you look to Rome from Oregon, you're struck by two other regions on the way to get into Rome, so to speak. First of all, is Northern Europe with Germany and Belgium and Austria, where we see that there's open advocacy by bishops, indeed, and other people, many people, for precisely what Fiducia Supplicans prohibits, unquestionably. And secondly, there's not only open advocacy for further change, there's open resistance to papal intervention. Countries where mass attendance has plummeted and church is shrinking dramatically. So that's one of the geographical reference points, is Northern Europe. The other one is Africa. As you look there in the last couple of months, you can't overlook Africa, and it's quite a contrast, because there in Africa and the whole continent, the church is expanding, not diminishing. It's expanding rapidly, and it has a huge number of Catholics. And it's quite interesting to note that the bishops there in Africa were surprised, and they reacted in unified surprise and dismay at the suddenness of this letter.
But Bishop, the Vatican and Cardinal Fernandez of the Vatican's doctrinal office, they say they're just blessing individuals. That's all they're doing, not the couple, just the individuals who come together. You would respond how to that?
Well, I responded, as I said in my letter, the subtle distinctions of Fiducia Supplicans will not keep bystanders from concluding that the church the priest represents no longer believes as she always did before, but is now endorsing the unions of unmarried couples when a priest is seen blessing them publicly.
So again, the practice, what we do, the images created from that practice, that ends up being the doctrine, changing the doctrine, at least in the minds of the faithful.
In the minds of the faithful, but also in the minds of the non-Catholics, who then influence the faithful as well. We have a great concern for people that are supposedly excluded from the church and are outside the church, and how to bring the gospel to them and make it more acceptable and not be judgmental and condemning. And that's all important, certainly important to note. However, we have to have concern for the faith of the faithful, to preserve their faith, and not to weaken it by what our actions do.
Bishop Cary, we keep hearing that Fiducia changes nothing, and it actually upholds the church teaching on marriage and family. Why did you feel you had to issue this statement now?
precisely because of the confusion. I have letters from people in my diocese asking. I had one person that was ready to leave the church, and I wanted to. And you'll notice I quote that in the letter. I quote the Cardinal Fernandez's multiple reaffirmations of the teaching of the church, repeatedly affirmed, and those are both signed by the Holy Father. That declaration.
And that's a good point. You created a whole timeline here of how initially in 2021, the doctrinal office issued a statement saying you could not bless same-sex couples and that you couldn't bless sin. The Holy Father signed off on that. 2 years later, we have the reversal of that. How do you put that together for people?
Well, that's what I tried to do. As I said, I wrote this for the people of my diocese who are not professional theologians, nor am I, for that matter. But I did not want to get into all those difficult distinctions that are very much debated by theologians. And I think that we can't. I wanted to stay at the basic experientially confirmable truths that people have to live with.
Yeah, well, the Vatican and the proponents of these blessings for same-sex couples and those in irregular unions, they keep saying, and they say in this document, Fiducia Supplicans, that these are non-liturgical blessings and therefore not a reason for concern. Can a blessing from a priest ever be non-liturgical? And had you ever heard that before?
No, I hadn't. And that was when the confusion was shared by me, and I think by many, that distinction was, if it's a valid distinction, it needs more clarification than was given in that brief document, I would say, respectfully. I think the point of a priestly blessing is he's the one that celebrates celebrates the liturgy. So it's kind of an extension of the sacrament of holy orders when he gives a blessing.
Bishop, you talk about in your letter that a new context has arisen in light of fiducia and what we're dealing with in the idea of non-liturgical and liturgical blessings. You cite at length the growing objections to fiducia in your letter, specifically the carve-out that you mentioned earlier, Pope Francis, that he extended to the African Church. Bishop, what are your thoughts on the Vatican issuing exceptions by regions, and doesn't that damage the credibility of the document altogether?
Well, frankly, I haven't given that thought to that. What's going to come from this, I don't know. But it seems to me that I have in conscience, I have I'm responsible for the transmission of the faith in my diocese, and that's what I'm concerned about now. How this can be improved, I don't know, but I certainly pray that it will be.
Yeah, well, we've seen bishops' conferences all over the world. I mean, the Dutch came together. You had a group of Hungarians. Do you hope your brother bishops will join you in raising concerns about the confusion that this document has stirred up, in the hopes that either another exemption is given to to North America, or that the document can be adjusted or rescinded?
Well, I respect my brother bishops, and I've gotten great letters of very good support from them, a number of them. I'm just doing and I don't. Their situation is different from mine. I don't know that everybody should do the same thing, but I don't see this as an exception, really. I see it as because Cardinal Fernandez makes those distinctions before he had the meeting with the African bishops. He talked about the possibility that it wouldn't be possible for a bishop to allow it.
Yeah, well, in the following commentary, though, the Pope and Fernandez have both said, well, the African thing, that's in their own culture, as if they have a cultural prohibition on this, but the rest of the world, it's perfectly acceptable. But what you're saying in the document is, no, Catholic teaching really doesn't permit you to extend these blessings, if I'm reading it correctly.
Yeah, and I guess I would say that I said I have a profound respect for the witness of Africa. And I don't see why that witness should be discounted.
Bishop Liam Cary, we will leave it there. I thank you so much for your voice on this issue. And you can find Bishop Cary's pastoral letter, To Bless or Not to Bless, at the Diocese of Baker's website, dioceseofbaker.org. Thank you.